We ran into each other at Hurricane Harry's like the first weekend of our freshman year of college. And he had invited me to go watch the Aggie Wranglers dance at MSC Open House, which is like a huge performance we have each semester. Saw them perform, had no idea who the Aggie Wranglers were. And I watched them. I was like, I want to be a part of that.
This is On Air with Student Affairs. I'm your host, Elizabeth Drake, and today we are here with the high-flying, defyin Aggie Wranglers. So why don't we start out by you guys telling us a little bit about yourselves and a little bit about the Aggie Wranglers.
Yeah, my name is Austin Compte. I have the privilege of serving as the president for Aggie Wranglers this year. I am a agricultural systems management major from right here in College Station, Texas, and I'm actually in the middle of my senior year right now.
My name is Rachael Tomasino. I am from Houston, Texas. I am a junior marketing major, and yeah, I love being on the team and getting to serve alongside some of just a few of our amazing officers.
My name is Rachael Owens, and I'm studying anthropology. I'm actually from Iola, which is like 30 minutes out of town, and I'm the public relations officer for the team, so I'm in charge of performances and like social media, stuff like that.
So tell us a little bit about the Aggie Wranglers.
Yeah, the Aggie Wranglers are Texas A&M's premier country and western dance organization. We've been around for 41 years, so a long history, large group of alumni, and it's an organization that's been kind of steadily growing over the last 40 or so years. We primarily perform. We perform for free, and we do that as a public service to the community, but also we teach dance lessons. So we teach different forms of country and western dance, whether that's two-step, polka, waltz, things like that.
So how did you guys get started here on campus?
Do you mean like on the organization or just how did the Aggie Wranglers start?
Either one. Tell us everything.
So the Aggie Wranglers started actually as a Bible study. It started as a group of just students who love to do fellowship together, and then they got invited, I believe, to like a music festival to go dance or something, and so that was 41 years ago. And then as for how I got involved onto the team, I never danced before college, but my senior year when I got accepted into A&M, like my senior year of high school, I got invited by a coworker to go country dancing. And that's where I met my now partner for Aggie Wranglers. His parents were actually on the team whenever they were in college. And so that's kind of how I got involved into all of this. And it's nothing like I ever would have seen myself doing, which was pretty cool.
So it feels like there's so much tradition surrounding Aggie Wranglers. How did it become this like tradition at Texas A&M? And why do you think that country western dancing is so unique to Texas?
So I think the tradition of Aggie Wranglers, like Riley said, like it started a little bit more laid back, just started as a group of people that enjoy dancing. And at its heart, that's kind of still what it is. I think a lot of the fellowship within our organization is just us going out dancing and having fun. But I'd say just through the years, we've kind of grown and become a little bit more official, a little bit more established here on campus just by getting involved with other organizations. And so, I mean, we talked about it before, but a couple weeks ago, we got to get with the Yell Leaders and do kind of a promotional event with them. And so I think that's one of the things that's helped our organization grow, especially over the last 40 years. And just country western dancing as a whole. I mean, I feel like we've seen a little bit of a decline in the last few years, but it's something that I think is still very unique to Texas A&M and, like you said, Texas as a whole. So.
Yeah, I always see the Aggie Wranglers at different events. Like, I know I've taken y'all's classes at Fish Camp, and you've come to my different sorority events. So what makes y'all's specific style unique?
I think one big thing for me is all of our jitterbug moves that we do. So the high flying tricks where the girls are being flipped in the air. I think I love watching that kind of thing. And that's one of the things that I enjoy practicing a lot. When I'm watching, it's like, it gives you a heart attack, but like, you know that we practice so much that no one's going to get hurt. We're being safe, but I love just how, not like scary, but like watching it is so, I don't know, it's so impressive. And I love that.
What does it take to practice for all those crazy and awesome tricks?
Lots of hours, but we actually practice our jitterbug at like a local gymnastics gym. They let us practice on their soft floor. And so we feel pretty safe out there to work on that.
Yeah, I think one of the things that adds just to our style as well, like Rachel was talking about, like the high flying jitterbug that we do, but also I think one of the things that sets us apart, especially from some of the other country western dance orgs here in Texas, is just how sharp we are when we're doing routines and things like that. So the routines that we do, we currently have 4 routines that we kind of cycle around, have been around for years and years, and so like a few of them have been around since the early '90s. We've been doing the routines the exact same way, kind of changing things a little bit throughout the years. But just through the years, through getting input from alumni and having different sources being able to pour into you, I think the quality of dancing has been able to kind of just skyrocket. And so that's one thing that when you watch our organization as opposed to maybe some of the like smaller groups that are kind of scattered throughout the state, I think that's one aspect where we stand out a lot in.
So I know you shared a little bit about how you got involved with the Aggie Wranglers, but how did y'all two get involved?
So we actually, both of us were part of an organization here in College Station called the Little Wranglers, actually, which was founded by a woman who was an Aggie Wrangler. She was an alumni from the team, and then she started the Little Wranglers as a kind of a branch off, she wanted to teach children in the area how to dance, and that's kind of how it started. It started with her children. But Rachael and I were actually involved in this organization when we were in high school, not together, kind of separately, didn't really know each other at the time. And then when I got to college in 2022, one of my buddies who I'd known from the organization is 4 years older than me, kind of persuaded me to try out for the team. And then when Rachael got to college, some of her friends, kind of friends with my friends, and then Rachael and I ended up partnering up, and then yeah, I mean, we're kind of here now.
Yeah, we danced together a couple times in high school. That was about it. And then whenever I got to college, we would all go out dancing at Hurricane Harry's. And I started dancing with their friend group. And everyone was like, oh, like Austin's partner is graduating. And I was like, I need a dance partner. So we ended up being dance partners, and it's great. It's so fun.
That's awesome. You guys are partners. How does that work? Like picking partners? Like it sounds kind of serious.
It's really nice to have the same partner throughout the whole process, because you kind of build that friendship and like the trust that you need to do all of the crazy like jit moves and stuff. I will say it's harder for girls to find a partner than it is for guys, because guys tend to not enjoy dancing as much, I think. But there is like a big dance community here in College Station, and so a lot of the times like you can ask people from your classes like, hey, do you want to take lessons with me? Stuff like that. So
sorry,
I was gonna say, so like I mentioned earlier, I met my partner at Stampede Houston, so a dance hall in Houston. I actually hated dancing with him whenever we first danced together. It's a story I love to tell. But then we ran into each other at Hurricane Harry's like the first weekend of our freshman year of college. And he had invited me to go watch the Aggie Wranglers dance at MSC Open House, which is like a huge performance we have each semester. I saw them perform, had no idea who the Aggie Wranglers were. I watched them. I was like, I want to be a part of that. And then so we just decided to start taking lessons together. And then we built a friendship that still continues to this day, obviously, since we're still partners. And yeah, it's just, you spend so much time with that person that it is kind of serious, but it's a different kind of friendship that you can't find anywhere else. And so it's definitely a really unique experience to get to actually experience it.
Yeah, it seems like you guys build such bonds and connections with each other. And I love that you met at dance halls and stuff, because I met a lot of my friends freshman year at Hurricane Harry's.
Mm-hmm.
So what's it like making the team and auditioning?
Yeah, so like Riley kind of talked about a second ago, so I think the start of the process to trying out for the team is like she was saying, finding a partner and then just taking the lessons. So we offer 4 different lessons. We offer country western dancing 1 and 2, and then jitterbug 1 and 2. And so one of the things that we advertise is like, we'll teach you everything you need to know in order to make the team. So no prior dance experience is required. And so once people have taken the lessons, then we usually hold 1 tryout per year. So we hold it in April usually. So it's towards the end of the spring semester. And the tryout process is kind of a whole day. It's like half and half, split between like interviews and also just seeing dancing, seeing how well you can dance to different songs, adjust to different things. And then at the end of the day, we'll kind of make a big announcement about who's going to be on the team for the next year. And then once you're on the team, you don't have to try out again for your time in college. And so it's kind of a one-time tryout, and then you're on the team until you graduate. So I'm currently my third year on the team. I'm old, but yeah. So it's a long tryout process, but it's something the team kind of helps with a lot throughout the process.
So you've been on the team a while. What's your favorite thing about country western dancing?
Oh man, I would say I think my favorite thing about country western dancing, especially within Wranglers, has been getting to take the things that I've learned from this organization, so the dancing style, things like that, and also kind of make the style my own as well, especially when we go out floor dancing, kind of just having fun, things like that. That's something that I've enjoyed a lot, is taking the things that other people have taught me, other people have poured into me, and then kind of making it my own and then being able to pour that back into other people.
What's y'all's favorite thing about country western dancing?
I think for me, one of the big factors is like the social aspect of like it's a hobby that involves a lot of people. And so when you go out dancing, like you're always going to meet new people. You'll see familiar faces. I think going out dancing with like a big friend group is just so fun. I've met so many great people. Obviously, like we have the people on the team, but also like all of our friends, all of our like significant others that will come out and dance with us. And it's just the friendship over that is so special.
I would say I love the community of it, because it's not even just like a physical community, but it's like a social community on social media as well. And so getting to see all those things on social media and then like try them yourself, and then like getting to pour what you've learned into other people is so cool. Or even just somebody like coming up to you after a dance and just saying, hey, like you spin really well, and like getting to teach them like, oh, and just walk them through everything, and then just get to have a conversation about something that's become such a huge part of my life.
A lot of community involved
Yes.
in western dancing. So as current students, your mission is to express your love for Texas A&M through your performances and lessons. How do you guys see that playing out in your own Aggie experiences?
You want me to handle this one?
So I'm a marketing major, and I have, as lessons coordinator now, I advertise for lessons and I plan lessons, and I plan all these different events, and it kind of goes into what I want to do whenever I graduate college. And so I'm kind of taking all these experiences that I'm learning through this organization and applying it to my actual degree and what I'm doing with my life afterwards. And then getting to just, like you said, spread our love to other Aggies and everything. It's really so cool and get to experience all these different things as a college student, like the yell leaders and everything.
Yeah, I think to touch a little bit on what Riley was saying too, like our organization is completely student run. So obviously we have faculty advisors, but I mean, outside of that, like we handle all of the marketing, the finances, everything that goes into essentially running a business. And so there's a lot of professional experience that I think each of us have been able to get from that. But also, like when we go to performances and things like that, we're performing a lot of the time in places far away from College Station, people that have never heard of us, don't know who we are, we've never met them before. And so there's a social aspect too of getting to go into a new environment and obviously go introduce yourself to people, kind of be able to sell our image, sell our brand to people that have no idea who we are. So
I know you guys have talked a lot about going out and all the things you do. I know you guys give free dance lessons. How does that sort of create a community at Texas A&M and even beyond?
Yeah, so we offer free dance lessons at the beginning of the semester. So for both the Howdy Weeks that are in the spring and then the fall. And then we also offer free dance lessons at fish camps. We were talking a little bit about that earlier. But as for our public lessons and private lessons, those are, they are at a cost. And so like our public lessons are $70 right now. But that includes 3 to 4 weeks worth of material, and it's only a one-time fee for you and your partner combined. So it's really about $35 a person. And then all the costs that go towards our lessons go back into the organization. And so they help us travel. They help us go to these performances. They help us fund the uniforms and everything. And so we do these services in order to kind of give back to the org as well. And so that we can keep funding and keeping our building, keeping the lights on, and just to make sure that we don't really have any barriers, I guess, whenever it comes to spreading our love for this dance team.
And then I think kind of just to touch on the performance side of things as well. Like I said before, like all of our performances are completely free regardless of where they are. And like I said, we do that like at its heart as a service to the community. And I think as far as like spreading or spreading unity like on campus, one of the things we tried to lean into a lot in the past couple of years has been getting in touch with other student organizations. And so whether that's like performing at sorority events, one of the things we've been doing recently is trying to reach out to a bunch of flows and see if that's something we can partner with them on. And I think, I think it just goes back to the whole idea of like Aggies helping Aggies. And so like helping them by like introducing them to obviously this country western dance community here in Bryan College Station, but also like them helping us by also helping spread what we're trying to spread to other people. So
I know you touched on your performances that you guys do. What is y'all's favorite performance that you've ever done?
You want to go first?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going to steal this one from Comty because I know it's his favorite too. My favorite is probably the one that we had this past January. It was in Washington, D.C. at the Texas State Society Black Tie and Boots inaugural ball. And we fundraised money so that all of us could go completely free of cost to us. And so that's kind of what the dance lessons help fund is these traveling experiences and traveling for us to go and get to witness these things. And so we performed in Washington, D.C., and it was a group of 20 of us, I believe, performing for this huge event. And it's honestly something like I'll never forget. And just like getting to bond with them on the dance floor and off the dance floor as well. It was just so cool. And getting to spread like this style of dance to people who aren't from Texas and aren't familiar with that style and getting to travel somewhere else for it as well.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it was super cool.
That one was pretty fun. I'm going to be honest, I don't have one favorite. Some of my favorite things about performances are when we have performances for like little kids because they love us to death. Like they think we're so cool. Like the easiest, simplest moves just like put a huge smile on their face. And I think that's part of why I do this is like it's so good to like make other people happy and make people smile. And then I really love our out of town performances because we just like road trip together and stop at Buc-ee's and it's so fun. So I think it's not necessarily like which performance is my favorite, but like I don't know, I love the experiences. So
yeah, you like to see the impact your dancing has on the people watching.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of my favorite performances every year is, I kind of talked about the organization a second ago, but Little Wranglers every single year does a huge like banquet at the beginning of November. And that's one of those performances that, one, you're performing for over 1,000 people. So that's always a really good time. But it's really cool to be able to kind of give back to this organization that kind of helped me get my start in dancing. And so that one's always fun. I also I work for them. So I work for Little Wranglers. I teach like little kids, like 7 and 8 year olds how to dance. And so getting to go perform for the kids that I'm teaching is something that's like really cool. And it's just one of my favorite performances every single year.
So you're helping bring up the next generation of Aggie Wranglers.
Kind of on the side. So not like affiliated with Aggie Wranglers, but yes.
So do you guys ever have like joint performances with the Little Wranglers?
Kind of. So it's kind of like Austin mentioned, whenever we go to the barn dances, that's what they're called. The Little Wranglers, they have 3 different branches in Houston, Dallas, and College Station. And so this past weekend, we just had our College Station one. And then this coming weekend, we have our Houston one. And so we kind of do a joint performance with them. And then at the end of the year in the spring, so this year it'll be March, we have a banquet of our own to kind of help for the next semester and next year. And we also do another joint performance. And so just like we performed at their banquet, they perform at ours. And it's really cool getting to interact with all of them.
So besides MSC Open House and stuff, where else can students on campus watch you guys perform?
Another big one that we talked about was Fish Camp. We try to make it out to every single Fish Camp session. Sometimes there's some scheduling difficulties, but I think we were there for, all of them this year. All of them maybe except for one.
Yeah, I think all except the last one.
So that's a big one. Like Riley said, we at the beginning of each semester, we do a Howdy Week free lesson. So that's free to everybody. There's usually a performance thrown in with that as well. And then outside of that, we often get requested to come perform at at events out at like Aggie Park. So like out on the stage there. So I know Pullout Day is usually a big one for us. Last year we performed in the Flag Room again for Aggieland Saturday. And so there's a bunch of kind of big university events that we perform at throughout the year. We try to do pretty good about advertising all of those on our social media accounts so that anybody that wants to come watch us can perform can find all the information for that. So
Yeah. So what advice do you guys have for other students that are curious about exploring their passions like you guys have for country western dance at A&M?
I would just say go for it. Like, no matter, like, it can be scary trying something new. I know I was terrified. I mean, I played basketball for 10 years. Couldn't even hold a beat. Sometimes I still can't. And so just honestly, just if you're that passionate about it or you're that, like, you want to go into it, just honestly, as cliche as it sounds, just do it. Because it's better to do it and at least say that you tried rather than regret not doing it.
Yeah.
I would also say don't be afraid to do a bunch of different things. I feel like my freshman and sophomore year, I was involved in a bunch of different organizations, whether that was Aggie Wranglers, I was involved with Impact Retreat for a while. I did a bunch of volunteer work, like just through other orgs, through my church and things like that. And I'm very thankful for all those experiences because just like through trying a bunch of different things, being with a bunch of different groups of people, I was able to kind of find the group of people that I feel the most at home with, which is obviously the Aggie Wranglers and the people that have like either come before us that have graduated since then and the people that are kind of coming up behind us, the underclassmen in our organization. I feel like all of them are friends that I'm going to have for years after we leave college.
Yeah. So how would you explain country western dancing and what you guys do to someone that is either not familiar with it or maybe they're not from Texas?
No, it's one of those things that I think, like, obviously partner dancing is not something that's unique to Texas. Like, you see different kinds of like partner dancing, whether that's like ballroom dance, like waltz, things like that, like West Coast swing. You see things like that all over the United States. I think country western dancing is just another iteration of that. So it's not special in that regard. And obviously, like, I think it comes from like original like Texas two-stepping, things like that. Very slow. But I think like one of the reasons it's gotten a lot of traction, especially in the past few years, has been partially because of our organization, other organizations like it. And so like you get these teams that go and compete at national levels with different styles of country and western swing, things like that. It's like our organization, we technically do not compete, but there are other organizations that are either based on our organization or do similar things that do go like get to go do that at national levels in front of people that are not necessarily familiar with country and western dancing. So I think that's one of the reasons that you've seen it kind of gain a lot of traction in the last few years. So
I feel like part of what's special about it is like my parents used to go out country western dancing. My grandparents used to go out country western dancing. There's so many different dance halls around the state. We're missing Hurricane Harry's right now, but like just the vibe of the dance halls with like the lights and the hardwood floors and stuff like that. I feel like it's just all of those things that you can find all around Texas that make it feel like home, I guess.
Yeah, it's just a fun way to come together with people.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it'd also be like it'd be dumb for us to not mention obviously like the romantic aspect of partner dancing, of country western dancing. Like I know a whole bunch of people like maybe a few years older than me or like my parents' age that met their husband, met their wife at Hurricane Harry's when they were at A&M. And so I think there's like the idea of that is another reason that I think a lot of people are so drawn to it. Of like, oh, like this is something that I can go do with friends, but it's also like, who knows, you might meet your wife while dancing at a dance hall. And so I think that's another thing that I think draws people to it as well. So
I did meet my boyfriend when I was out dancing at Hurricane Harry's, so it works, guys.
Yeah. We even met just your dance partners at dance halls, all you guys. So,
I mean, kind of bouncing off of Austin, the romantic aspect of it, but even just like the friendship aspect of it, like getting to go dance this unique style with like my best friends and knowing that like no matter what's going on in my outside world, country western dance can kind of be my escape for it. And it's just like I don't even know how to put it into words. It's just really cool. And getting to, I don't know, like experience the different levels of closeness with other people when you're dancing, and be able to have casual conversation and or not. Like there's no pressure to have that conversation while you're dancing. And so it's just getting, I don't even know, just getting to experience that is super cool.
Yeah, I think it is such a like unique experience to Texas or Texas schools or even just Texas A&M. And I think that's something cool that we have as a part of our student experience that you may not have up north or elsewhere.
Yeah. I think, sorry, I'm going to add on to like the country western. It can be something casual, or it could also just be, I don't know, like something that we do for fun like this. And so there's so many different levels to it. And that country western dance is just another one of those levels. And it can be as casual or competitive as you want it to be.
I think one cool thing to add about country western dance too is that there's no like right way to do it. There's just like different ways to do it. And so she talked about like it's cool to go out and dance with friends and dance with different friends. Like every single person you dance with is going to do something slightly different. And so it's really cool to get to go dance with like the people that I'm friends with when we go dancing, like all of them dance differently. And so I kind of have to adjust to how they dance, and it like overall it makes all of us better at it. But also I get to go dance with people that I have never met before, have no idea how they dance, and get to kind of like learn new things every single time we go out. And so that's another thing that's I think draws me to it a lot, is just the ability to grow every single time I go do it. So
do you guys want to tell us about any potential future performances you have coming up?
Yeah, so we are performing at Santa's Wonderland in late November, and then like throughout December. We have a couple performances throughout kind of like whenever finals is, and then even after once we are officially in break. And so we'll be out there at least once a week, I believe, performing for Santa's Wonderland. And I know we'll be posting it on social media. And then we also have spring dance lessons coming up as well. And so, yeah, we would love to see everybody there.
Thank you guys so much for joining us today on Air with Student Affairs. Gig 'em.
Gig 'em.